Hello, 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 hello. Whew. Oops. Let's get it going with this midday catch up. There is so much going on. um there it's like the notifications just will not stop. I thought I had everything. Okay. I guess we'll start here. There I put so much down in notes and all of these articles, and there's more and more and more coming through. So let's get this midday catch up underway. um, I do keep in mind this is live on both TikTok and on YouTube. So if you bounce in and out on TikTok and you want to see it in its entirety, you can go over to YouTube. It will be up forever. Um, and if you are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. But coming from Politico, EPA moves to ditch finding that greenhouse gases cause harm. So we're just picking and choosing what to believe to keep us safe. Like, okay. The recommendation by Lee Zeldin, the agency's administrator, could upend existing and future regulations on climate change. Yay us. Yay, yay, yay. Yay us. Because that's what we should be doing. That's how we should be doing things. Those French fries need ketchup. They do not. They need cheese. I'm just kidding. The Environmental Protection Agency will move to reverse its 2009 declaration that greenhouse gases endanger human health and welfare, a step that would threaten most major climate regulations and make it harder for future presidents to enact new ones. When I tell y'all that things that are happening now, because a lot of these things have happened before, it will take generations to get us back to the starting point. And when you're working hard to make sure that nobody or very few can come through and correct it, it gets even worse. 3 people granted anonymity to discuss the actions that EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin has recommended to the White House that the agency overhaul the finding which underpins all Clean Air Act climate regulations. And for those of y'all that were laughing when Trump forced people to say, yeah, COVID came from Wuhan and in the lab and lie, I told y'all it was going to be a slippery slope. Here comes the avalanche. Here comes the avalanche. The action, which was first reported by the Washington Post, represents President Donald Trump's most aggressive action to date to wipe out the federal effort to combat climate change, which he has repeatedly labeled a hoax, despite soaring global temperatures and the vast body of scientific evidence that it is fueling disasters around the globe. Excuse me. I want you all to realize that the same people that want to deny credible science are the same people who want you to guzzle up tyrannical pseudoscience. They want you to grab hold of eugenics and conspiracy theories. Trump has long sought to undermine the science of man-made warming that is at the heart of the endangerment finding. The concept of global warming was created by and for the Chinese in order to make U.S. manufacturing non-competitive, he famously declared on Twitter in 2012. This is what happens when you do not cultivate critical thought. If you do not cultivate, you don't cultivate the habit of exercising every muscle in your body, and that includes the muscle betwixt your ears, okay? The gray matter. You have people that are on paper and according to the law, full-grown adults that you allow to be in charge of certain things that still come up with the most juvenile, toddler-esque scenarios. Like they have made China the boogeyman for any and everything, and you really think China is going to create global warming that would affect everyone because it's global for the United States to not be able to be competitive? The United States makes sure that the United States isn't competitive all on its own. All on its own. Do not be fooled. The United States does that on their own. The United States just keeps shooting itself in the foot, the ankle, the thigh, the kneecap, the shoulder blade, the elbow. Okay? All on its own. Yeah, China is far from being the boogeyman. China is chilling over there like, what? I know we keep saying we want Taiwan, but like we're not really fucking with anybody else. Like, and I'm old enough to remember when they put restrictions on how many children Chinese couples could have. And folks took that, oh, they're going to try to make it go global and they're going to come for our kids. And China is like, we didn't say shit about y'all. Like, why are you in our business trying to act like we're trying to impose it? And it's projection. It is projection. United States, sorry, not sorry, biggest Karens and Richards ever. And always in somebody else's business trying to tell somebody else how to run their house. The United States is that subset of adults that I look at like, okay, you don't want nobody to come and tell you what to do, but you want to be able to tell everybody else what to do. How's that working out for you? Because as far as me and mine, you can go fuck yourself expeditiously. Plaxico first. It really should. I forgot about Plaxico. Oh my god. What was that? Was he a rap artist? I think he was a rap artist that was on a podcast, reached into his pocket and shot himself. Now I'm trying to get caught up because a couple of notifications popped up as I was setting up to go live, and then we'll get to the ones that I set aside. Like I said, things are just happening. And the MAGA freaks are freaking out because today was Trump's official first cabinet meeting. And yes, Elon Musk was there, and I've talked about it several times. I have a whole breakdown. And they're like, disinformation, misinformation. No, I don't do disinformation. I don't do misinformation because that's lies. And it's no interpretation of what happened. It's what the fuck happened. About, well, the liberals, when the fuck did I say I was a liberal? I got smoke for everybody. Like, they're politicians. I am, call me the HR department. Like, the fuck? Before y'all come through here trying to label me, trying to figure out what side I'm on the side of the people. I'm on the side of the populace. Okay, I'm everybody can run a fade. All right, all these politicians, I'm ready for their reviews. I don't give them a year to sit down and talk to them about it. No, every 3 to 5 business days. I'll come here. What you doing? Sit down. Sit down. But coming from News Nation, Doja's Elon Musk to visit Fort Knox to ensure gold hasn't been stolen. I said this to a relative of mine because they were like, well, how's this audit going to go? Because I'm like, it's primarily gold bars. Y'all do realize an audit on Fort Knox is that math equation that everybody hated in school, where they give you the dimensions of the room and tell you to figure out how much is in the room. But the conspiracy. Now, for a couple of years, I have considered doing a series on conspiracy theories. Now, let me explain to y'all how I look at conspiracy theories. Now, I have had conversations about conspiracy theories with a number of people, even people I've been related to. We take it from the standpoint of what all would have to happen, what all would have to fall in place for this conspiracy theory to have happened, for it to be plausible. What are the conspiracy theories? How did we get here? And I have a whole book written by National Geographic of conspiracy theories, and I thought about doing it, but then I am more and more disturbed at the fact that the more access we have to information, the dumber people are getting. Now, conspiracy theories, as far as my lifetime is concerned, have always existed. There have been movies where they talked about conspiracy theorists and, you know, the plights of them. And there's even been a movie where they insinuated heavily that would-be assassins or successful assassins all read Catcher in the Rye, and, you know, if you're a conspiracy theorist, this is something that you had, blah blah blah. But the fact that we have people running for and successfully being elected into office or buying their way into politics. New Jersey, I'm looking at you too. And if y'all don't know, there is a Manchurian candidate. There's a breakdown on TikTok and on YouTube regarding what happened in New Jersey and a big Democratic political pundit. But people aren't there. Our government, and I'm using this very loosely right now, and this is no knock to federal employees. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not talking about y'all. Okay. It's being run by people who believe in conspiracy theories. Because I remember years ago when people started tossing around, well, we're not allowed in Fort Knox because that stuff doesn't exist anymore. It's empty. They use it to pay blah, 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 blah. I need y'all to stop acting as if because you are a legal resident or a citizen of the United States, you legitimately have access to everything. They're never going to tell us everything. They're never going to show us everything for our security, for the greater good. Y'all can't keep a secret, and you refuse to keep a secret. Y'all found out a little bit of information and you got to run tell everybody. You're going to tell everybody at the grocery store, at the gas station. You're going to make a 20-part series on social media, trying to monetize off of it, gain clout and everything else. You're like, I'll tell y'all more for amount of likes, for amount of followers. So no, in order to stay safe, they're not going to tell you everything. So believing that Fort Knox is empty, trust them, if it was the way things are going, somebody would have already told us. Let us not forget that we had 20-something in the National Guard that had high level of clearance that was taking top secret information to Discord to try to make friends. We have a former and now current president of these here United States that stole classified information and didn't even have the wherewithal to try to sell it, but was taking it to parties as if it was like a parlor trick or a game. Like it was Monopoly, like, I got the greatest game ever, come be my friend. We also had individuals saying, hey, U.S. military, you're so fucked in the head, I'm sick of your shit, that they were going AWOL and willing to sell secrets. And then we got the APAC motherfuckers that have run the gamut on espionage. If Fort Knox was empty, we would have been known with evidence. They would have gladly taken pictures to show us. Sorry, not sorry, U.S. Y'all can't keep a fucking secret. Y'all sitting there talking about, you know, people don't have the morals that they used to. This is why the divorce rate is so high. No, the divorce rate went up when women and femme-presenting individuals had an option to not stay married, okay? You motherfuckers been cheating and been bad at it for a long time. It's because you can't keep a fucking secret. You start getting a little too cocky and you get busted. It's no different than our government. This is why they don't tell motherfuckers shit. Oh, thank you. Just like they not telling, no. This is why we have skips and everything else, and everybody, even in the government, doesn't have access to everything. You got Cash Patel, who's now the top of the FBI, that well before this, he was lying, but he was lying and giving snippets of what goes on in the war room. You had Trump accidentally and Melania telling the route to the bunker that we need to put our president in an emergency. Let us not forget that this is the same fucking country. As 9/11 was occurring, we decided to put on international television the flight route of our then sitting president. And then put on international television where our sitting VP was. The only time we could keep secrets was when it took 67 business months to get a letter across the country, let alone across the globe. every time we modernize something, we tell everything. We are like the toddler. You know how you got that one toddler in your family, you be like, look, your mama and your daddy said you can't have no chicken nuggets, but I'm gonna take you to go get some chicken nuggets because I want some chicken nuggets. Don't tell them. As soon as somebody hit the door, I got chicken nuggets. Like, that's us. And y'all keep building conspiracy theories over that shit, but when shit is really fucked up, you got a million excuses to talk it away. Elon Musk is running the country. Trump is his bitch. The person who owns the other 50% of Trump is Vladimir Putin. But y'all got 20,000 excuses as to how that's not plausible. But y'all got 100 new conspiracy theories each day about these people being accidentally fired. I don't think it was an accident. They know what they're doing. No, the fuck they don't. No, the fuck they don't. I know y'all believe that white men are the creme de la creme and the smartest of the smartest, but no, the fuck they're not. No, the fuck they're not. Because if they were, from all the shit that they claim that they do and they've invented, how come we are not living like the Jetsons right now? We are closer to the Flintstones than we will ever be to the Jetsons. Elania it's according to Trump, Elania is a good man, Savannah, and he gonna stick beside him. Here we go. President Donald Trump said during his speech at the CPAC conference that Elon Musk will be reviewing Fort Knox, the depository in Kentucky for American gold reserves, to ensure that gold still exists there. This is a full-grown adult who's not an accountant, who's not over the Treasury. Not to mention, I don't know if you've ever been in the presence of gold bars, if you know how heavy they are, if you know how much noise goes into moving gold bars. And as somebody who's lived in Kentucky for quite a while, you're not doing some shit on that grand of a scale without everybody, baby, everybody gonna hear about it. Okay, they're gonna have gold bar parties. Okay, there will be a drink, a dish, a mini holiday, a couple festivals named after what the fuck happened. There'll be a new restaurant in honor of it. You're not doing that silently and quietly. I need y'all to stop thinking that what occurs in movies can occur in real life. I bet you a bunch of y'all think that if you shoot at the gas tank in a car, that it's really going to explode. Like, Jesus Christ. It's right, Dragons. It is not quiet. It is not quiet at and like I thought I did a good job explaining to y'all during the Bob Menendez trial, because they had gold bars in their house and people were like, well, how'd they find them? It's hard to hide fucking gold bars. Y'all probably think that what Scrooge McDuck was doing, you really could do. You're not swimming through money and gold coins, people. And you gonna tell me, as heavily guarded as Fort Knox is, because those of us that are Gen X, we all had some Fort Knox jokes, okay? We all had some, and our parents had some Fort Knox saying, okay, growing up and even as adults. Everybody had that, because you gonna tell me if something went missing from there. First of all, let something go missing from Fort Knox. The whole Commonwealth of Kentucky, plus that tri-state area, would be on punishment. You understand me? You think COVID lockdown was something? We would all be on punishment. They would. Babe, your parents ever lose something and start going room to room, checking everything? That's how that would go. Right, exactly, Jess. Like, oh, like I need y'all to think. And these are people that are in control. And Trump, like, yeah, we're gonna send Elon Musk whatever Elon wants to do. That sounds good. Elon said it sounds good. Elon. So I guess Marla Maples is gonna be Elon's first lady. I don't know. I don't know. A quick note when it comes to Elon Musk, please stop comparing Elon Musk to Nick Cannon. One, they're not having children for the same reasons. Two, Nick Cannon is actually having sex with these women. All of Elon's children are by IVF, intentionally. Intentionally. So technically, he's still a virgin, minus whatever Amber Heard has on video recording of him. And Nick Cannon is actively in his children's lives and helping to raise them. Elon has one favorite child that he likes to use as a prop, aka shield, and is not involved in anybody's life. He right now has a child that is facing some type of medical emergency, and the mother of that child, plus two others of his, they have a total of three together, is frantically and having to publicly try to get him to call. So please stop trying to associate them to one another. And Elon just wants to populate the planet to have workers, but he doesn't believe that his children should be the workers. So I don't know how the fuck this is supposed to work. Yeah, they're out. They ain't nobody. He ain't boinky boinky pokey pokey nobody. He ain't. Hmm. Also, I know they keep trying to feed you this bullshit that the American workers and the American people at large, they're on board with the tariffs. No, they're not. And especially not on Canada and Mexico. And some people are like, oh, they're on board with it because they can just hop, skip, and jump across the border. First of all, honey, we are the ghetto. Nobody wants us bringing our cockroaches into their living room. Okay, absolutely not. Don't nobody want to wake up and they got rats chewing on their toes because we brought them over when we came to visit. Absolutely not. They not. They not fucking with us. No. So no. I don't know why this logged me out all of a sudden. Give me just a second. Why I got locked out all of a sudden. I forget that I always have multiple levels of verification. So my bad, y'all. Okay, here we go. Gavin, you better be worth it. Okay, coming from Politico.com, Gavin Newsom is launching his own podcast and inviting MAGA favorites. Of course, everybody needs a podcast. And yes. I know I'm one to talk because I got a podcast. But first of all, I'm cute and cuddly and I'm good at this shit. Okay. I'm not a guy. I'm not a red pillar. And I've been doing this since 2013. But bruh. You gonna do it with MAGA? Okay, just maybe a little less Botox filler, my boy. I love you. Newsom declined to name the half dozen guests he said have privately agreed to come on with him, but he gave a big hint. Look at the lineup of CPAC. Well, because Gavin, you're the clout. They need you, especially with the fuckery that is afoot with Trump. Gavin Newsom will soon host his own podcast where the California governor will mix it up with MAGA personalities, open his vast Rolodex for frank conversations with Democrats about how to come back from the wilderness and break news on consequential policy decisions. Okay, that's cool. I feel like you should be focused more on your 9 to 5, your bread and butter, but okay. I see where you're going. You're trying to, get to where the people are. How about this? You could just do a newsletter where you dumb down politics for people where they know what's going on and they have an understanding of what's going on. Because when you educate the population, they are more likely to vote in the best interest of the populace. I'm just saying, just a thought. Um, and I don't think that you're gonna have any frank conversations. And stop talking to the Democrats about how to come back from the wilderness. How about talk to the people, and people talk to your representatives, talk to your politicians, because when you left them guessing as to what to do to make things better for you, you got pissy and you voted them out of office, and you told them that they were doing everything wrong, and now you're mad that they're taking a step back. It's because they're tired of fucking guessing and getting it wrong. So instead of having your man, aka Uncle Sam, try to figure out what the fuck you want for dinner, just tell him, because he can't read your mind. Just a thought. Just a little bit of a thought. Just a little bit of. Gavin Newsom will, wait a minute, sorry. The solo venture from a likely presidential aspirant comes as Democrats writ large struggle to keep pace with the onslaught of actions from President Donald Trump and Republicans. Leaders from across the minority party are casting about for a compelling message while trying to break through in an increasing, stop. The GOP is very in tune to all of their pundits. They may have 2,000 narratives going at once, but they have lifelines that will carry those up to the top. And by the top of the media that they have. So from just the regular schmo that's posting on social media, whether they have a big following, what, it doesn't matter. A following is a following is a following. Like I always say, everybody has a public. It's just a matter of the size of your public. There's somebody right now trying to figure out your business. There's somebody right now that thinks that they are your Joan Rivers, that they are your Mary Hart, baby. They are your personal gossip columnist. Do not be fooled. But the opposing sides need to look at the pundits, the influencers, the people who are actively doing these things. Instead of creating other shows, get on their shows. Go to the comment sections and see what their audiences are saying. See what the conversations are being had. That is the biggest problem with the Democrats. Everybody wants to be a superstar, and everybody wants to do their own thing. No, we've already built communities. We already have the shelters in place. We already have the homeless centers in place. Go visit them. And by that, I mean, we have the podcasts, we have the radio shows, we have the newsletters, we have the writers, we have the educators. Go and talk to them. Go and sit on their couches. Go and be interviewed by them. Go and have these mini town halls. Reconnect with the people. Take the hands of time back. Stop trying to spend a whole bunch of money and just go talk to the people. A conversation is fucking free. Well, actually, in this economy, it's gonna cost you a cup of coffee or two. Yeah. Because at this point, I'm gonna start charging y'all French fries and Reese cups. And it's like, Trump went to podcasters. Kamala Harris tried to show you, go to the podcaster, go to where the people are. Legacy media is great because you still have people in the populace that still go to legacy media and legacy media alone. You have some people that do a hybrid. You have some people, because of their lifestyles and their schedules, they can't. They're completely online, or they're still getting physical newspapers. That's fine. And we can't put it towards a generation, because it's not across a singular generation. If you all haven't figured out from the generational wars and conversations that come up from time to time, there are things that people are like, oh yeah, this is Gen X. No, this is Gen Z. Oh no, this is Gen Alpha. Because there's crisscross. There's interconnectivity. So do that. It's great on paper that, oh, you're going to do this podcast, but is it really? So, hold on. Wait a second. Got a message. Okay. Also coming from the AP, a far right party saw a historic surge in support in Germany's election. Here's what to know. The United States has too much influence on the globe. If it can be done here and it's viewed as acceptable here, it will branch out to the world. This is not me being facetious. This is not me reaching. This is me reminding you of history. If it can be gotten away with here, they're going to dip their toes in the water elsewhere. Yep, he did. Jess, he did branch. He did finance them. He really thinks he's Lex Luthor. Alternative for Germany surged to the best showing by a far right. I promise y'all I can talk. Take two. Take two. Alternative for Germany surged to the best showing by a far right party since World War II in Sunday's national election and became the strongest political force in parts of the country. Other parties say they won't work with the anti-immigration Alternative for Germany (AFD), which fielded its first candidate for Germany's top job in co-leader Alice Weidel. But Sunday's second place finish cemented AFD's status as a factor that other politicians can't ignore. Those of y'all that were like, oh no, she's reaching because she said, if it works in the United States, so they think it works over here because it's not really working over here, isn't it? Was at the top of the list, anti-immigration. And this hasn't been the case since World War II. And right now, Germany, a certain subset within Germany is like, all these years, they're like, if we would have had the United States on our side, we could have won. We would have been victorious. The world would see things like we see it. Yeah, yeah. And guess what? The United States is gleefully tap dancing its way into becoming the Axis instead of the ally. It has also become well known outside Germany. The party has won enthusiastic support from Elon Musk, as well as attention from US Vice President J.D. Vance and Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. I'll let you connect the dots on that because I'm done doing it. I say these things damn near every day. Whew. Okay, we've got a couple more to get through. Trying to get through this as quickly as possible to get y'all through this midday matchup. But like I said, if you're joining on TikTok and you came in a little late, the whole thing will be up over on YouTube. Trump's Justice Department enforcer is no stranger to complaints about his conduct. A group of Manhattan criminal defense attorneys was so concerned about prosecutor Emil Bove's professionalism that they banded together to send an email to his bosses. You're gonna see more and more like Emil. Like when did you go down the wrong road? But okay, but I don't think Trump is prepared for you because you don't give a damn. You want power. One lawyer complained in the 2018 email that Bovee was completely reckless and out of control in how he handled his cases. Another, upset about Bovee's rudeness and power plays, that he needed adult supervision. I know we joke about it when it comes to me, but it's a joke. They they put it in an official email that this man needed adult supervision. Okay. Okay. I thought this Fortnite. It pretty much is at this point. A third, a top federal public defender in the city, said he cannot be bothered to treat lesser mortals with respect or empathy. This is an administration full of wannabe supervillains. Bove, then a hard-charging prosecutor in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York, was hardly chastened by the complaint. Instead, he printed the email and pinned it on a corkboard in his office for others to see, according to a person who worked with Bove. Well, now we know where Trump got the idea from to take his mugshot and put it outside the Oval. Diabolical. The person who spoke on the condition of anonymity to candidly discuss, I don't blame you, because Emil Bove is going banoodles butt fuck crazy right about now. Discuss a former colleague said Bove considered the email to be a badge of honor. Bove's near decade as a prosecutor, a time in which he tackled high-profile cases amid complaints about his polarizing behavior, provides clues as to how he views his current role as President Donald Trump's chief enforcer at the Justice Department. In just a month, as the department's acting number 2 official, the little-known Bove has plowed through norms and niceties, whether scolding FBI leadership for insubordination in refusing his request to hand over the names of agents who investigated the January 2021 assault on the U.S. Capitol, or forcing out attorneys who worked on those cases. And this right here is a prime example why people are looking crazy at the number 2 for the FBI. And they're like, oh, he's the number 2. He's not going to do anything. You do realize the number 2 at the FBI is in charge of the FBI headquarters itself. But these number 2s are shitty. Earlier this month, he pressured former colleagues to drop charges against New York City mayor for reasons unrelated to the strength of the case, upending decades of Justice Department norms. The moves have spurred intense criticism from legal scholars and former prosecutors. They worry that Bove, who represented Trump in federal and state criminal prosecutions, is settling scores for the president, not in part. I don't think this has anything to do with Trump. It has to do with Bove's ego. Bove lost multiple times when it came to Trump when he joined the Trump team. Bove enjoys being the villain, and he's going to take it to the limit. Because him showing up in court and being intimidating, he didn't tell Trump any of this. He's not checking in with Trump. I'm going to need everybody to move away from the narrative that Trump is in. He's not. He is the puppet. He is not the puppeteer. He is the distraction. He is, I can't think of the comedian's name. Jeff Dunham. Is it Jeff? Yeah, Jeff Dunham. That has all of the ventriloquist dummies. Trump is one of the ventriloquist dummies. He is going to keep you entertained on the stage where you don't notice them raiding coat check and emptying your pockets and raiding the valet stand and getting copies of your house keys. Also, just to let you all know, the Trump administration has already set the stage for large-scale federal worker layoffs in a new memo. So they're going from just blatantly firing people to laying them off. But once again, we do not have the budget, nor the funds, nor the allocations for this. Our economy is fucked, on top of a multitude of other things. So here we go. From Politico, Musk and Trump's federal layoffs are just getting started. At the first cabinet meeting of the new administration, Donald Trump and Elon Musk also hinted that more demands for federal workers to explain their jobs could be coming. You should know how things go. Now, I have worked closely with a nonprofit in the Cincinnati, Ohio area that would assist predominantly minority or marginalized individual-owned businesses regarding efficiency, productivity, cost saving, things like that. I have been trained on how to audit these businesses. I've gone in and done audits. I've gone through when they have a new listing of clientele to do this for, to help for minimal cost or no cost at all. The crash courses that you're given to understand the business at hand. I predominantly help out restaurants and things like that because I went through all of those crash courses. So going in, to help them with lines, help them with expo and things like that. But you have to learn at least the basis of that business to be able to critique them. When you're telling people, hey, we need to cut, but we don't know what you do. So explain to us what you do. Well, baby, I'm going to make myself sound like the most important person on the fucking planet. How would you know? Because you're using keyword source searches and poorly coded AI to determine everything. But also to the people who said that my assessment was wrong, let's get into this. Regarding the first cabinet meeting, federal agencies are being ordered to submit plans by mid-March for laying off employees and large-scale reductions in force, an escalation in President Donald Trump's effort to reshape the federal workforce. Stop saying that. This is not his efforts. This isn't even the efforts of the Heritage Foundation. This is the efforts of Muskie and his Muskie maneuvering. Okay, that's what that is. Pursuant to the president's direction, agencies should focus on the maximum elimination of functions that are not statutorily mandated while driving the highest quality, most efficient delivery of their statutorily required functions, according to the Office of Management and Budget and Office of Personnel Management memo released on Wednesday. What the fuck does that mean? Nothing. They just talked in a bunch of circles. Remember, Trump said the Department of Education should be a calculator, a pen, and a paper, and maybe 3 people to like somebody to answer the phone. Once again, they don't know what's being done. That's why the Ebola task force was accidentally fired and then had to be rehired. This is why the people with the nuclear codes were accidentally fired, and they're scrambling to rehire them. While the federal government has seen a host of layoffs since Trump took office, you mean since Musk took office? Because he paid for it, and he is so happy. He is so proud. He is just rolling on the K. Rolling on the K. All over the place. Just, yeah. He reminds me of Tom Cruise jumping up on the couch when he finally got a chance to sniff some cuckoo. This move takes the president's agenda a step further. Most recent dismissals focused on probationary employees, generally federal workers, in their jobs for 1 or 2 years, while reductions in force could target a wider range of workers. The memo directs agencies to submit these agency RIF and reorganization plans by March 13th. The federal government is costly, inefficient, and deeply in debt. But didn't Trump just say that we were the purse for the world? Oh, okay. Okay, we got this one and then one more. Okay, I promise. Any other updates? I think I can bring them to you one at a time. If not, then we'll reconvene later today. But don't forget, on Zoom, there's a book club today, Slavery by Another Name. And then on TikTok Live, there will be Savage Inequalities that will be there. So make sure you are there. Coming from the Washington Examiner, Social Security Administration closing Civil Rights Office and placing employees on leave. And for those of y'all that are like, I don't care, I'm not black, I'm not brown. Are you a part of a protective class? Do you have a vagina? Do you have ovaries? Do you like not being sexually harassed? Do you like being able to take care of your family members should they become sick and or disabled and still having a job? Should you become sick and or disabled, need to take some time off work, do you want to be able to come back? Do you want to be able to practice the religion of your choosing or no religion at all? Would you like to be unmarried and keep a job? Okay. The Social Security Administration, and for those of y'all that are like, nobody care if you're married or not, you're a fucking lie. And you know it. The Social Security Administration announced on Monday that it will be closing the Office of Civil Rights and Equal Opportunity and placing all of the office's employees on administrative leave. In a press release, the SSA called the office duplicative. Just like y'all call Social Security that people have to pay into an entitlement. Y'all call that an entitlement, but you can't understand white privilege. Our focus is supporting President Trump's priorities. What about the country? I thought this was supposed to be the country. I thought he was given a mandate of the people because the people, did you say this what you wanted? Because I don't remember hearing the people ever say that this is what they wanted. I heard the people say a lot of things, but I ain't hear the people say this. People, did you say that? Because I don't remember hearing you. I mean, I don't hear that well, but I think I would have heard that pretty loud and damn clear. Which includes streamlining functions and prioritizing essential work, said Lee Dudek. Y'all thought essential work was getting a burger from McDonald's after telling people that they don't need to have a livable wage. I don't really think y'all should be determining what's essential. And most of y'all mamas and grandmamas think that you can be healed by essential oils, which is just scented baby oil. Y'all know what y'all selling them MLMs. Said Lee Dudek, acting commissioner of Social Security, terminating the Office of Civil Rights and Equal Opportunity and reassuring statutory responsibilities performed by this office advances the president's goal to make all of the government more efficient in serving the American people. So in serving white people. Equal employment opportunity complaints and reasonable accommodation requests will now be transferred to other SSA components, the agency says. So overworked. We've learned nothing from social services. Okay. The dissolving of the office comes as the Trump administration is seeking to slash the size of the federal government through the Department of Government Efficiency. Isn't it funny that they want to slash all of these offices, but they haven't slashed the amount of friends and family Trump and all of his sycophants have in the federal government? Oops. I wasn't supposed to say that. My bad. My bad. I'm so sorry. Okay, closing out the wrap up, coming from the Hill. Gabbard moves to fire 100 plus intel officers over explicit chat messages. You ain't never been around techies. We got some filthy, dirty ass minds. Okay, we nasty. We are creative, but we nasty. That. Okay. Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence. Ah, okay. Okay. It's not a fever dream. It's not a fever dream. It's not a fever dream. Tulsi Gabbard, the director of national intelligence, has moved to fire more than 100 intelligence officers over explicit chats they allegedly sent around in an internal agency messaging board. But did they get their work done? Did anybody complain? Was everybody participating willingly? And can I get a copy of those chats? For research purposes. Yeah, research purposes. Yeah, research. Yeah, research. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just to chronicle the history. Somebody needs to preserve those. Think of me as the Nara of Intel. Yeah, Nara Taz. Mm-hmm. Gabbard, who was confirmed as the nation's top intelligence official earlier this month, stated that she spearheaded a directive Tuesday to oust the individuals who partook in the explicit conversations using the National Security Agency's NSA Intel Link platform. So that's with everything going on. That's what you. I mean, if she does fire you, could you reach out to me? Because allegedly, I would like to know why you got fired in detail. I mean, and allegedly, if you could take a couple copies with you, like print them out. I'm old school. You could research purposes. Research purposes. How nasty did y'all get? Like, how was y'all like OnlyFans nasty? Like, or were y'all like Pornhub nasty? Or were you like Horn Bunny nasty? Which there are over 100 people from across the intelligence community that contributed to and participated in what is really just an egregious violation of trust. The violation of trust is you snitching and trying to fire people, bitch. You ain't say nobody said that they was being sexually harassed. You ain't say nobody was coerced. Nobody was. Everybody was having a good time. Everybody was writing the best fanfic of their life. You this could have balanced the budget. If you'd printed them out like it was project, you could have called it P25 for a different reason. It could have been our OPP 2025. You didn't even have to put it to music and sold it. We would have bought it. We in this economy, we would have bought it because dating is expensive and you got to take heifers on dates before they let you touch their undercarriage. At least, you are the. Gabber told Fox News' Jesse Waters on Tuesday, of course, and you got to go to Fox News and tell them. Jesse Waters forced his current wife to marry him. That woman is afraid to leave. It don't matter how many times she blinked. He is diabolical. He let the air out of her tire, like all sorts of shit. He would have been in the group chat. Tossy, you're not beating him. You in a weird cult allegations because you don't what the okay. When you see what these people were saying, they were brazen in using an NSA platform intended for professional use to conduct this kind of really, really horrific behavior, she said during her appearance on Jesse. You think talking about sex consensually is a good. And you said this to Jesse Waters. Tulsi, you're in a cult where people sprinkle the toenail clippings of your leader on their food. People writing out their fantasies about bumping undercarriages with each other consensually, because once again, nobody said that they were sexually harassed, coerced, or forced to do it. So everybody was blowing off steam. But they're brazenly, they're all intel professional, like tech professional. What do you? This y'all don't stress me all the way the hell out. You know what? I can't. No, real quick, because I'm checking the time, because y'all know, to me, time is extremely, extremely relative. But for the book club, it's listed as Task Club in my LinkedIn. For today, what is today's date? It is the 26th. Okay. So you still have time to sign up. Yes, it is free of charge, but it starts in 2 hours. Oh my goodness. Thank you all. Thanks, Jeff. Oh my goodness. So it was a presser convention. It was like she really get up. Well, if you'd like to join me, 2 hours on Zoom, 3 hours on TikTok. Like I said, 2 different books. Also, tomorrow at 2:00 Eastern, 1:00 Central, 11:00 Pacific, on the Eager TikTok page, there will be a live. If you are white, you are encouraged to participate, especially in the panel, because the questions will be centered around you, your feelings, and how to navigate what is coming next. Please join us. Other than that, check out what is in the link tree in my bio, amongst everything else. I'm gonna go have a snack. Um, and make a cup of tea and try to figure out if I can butter somebody up to give me a copy of what got Tulsi Gabbard so mad. Allegedly, I'm gonna see if I can butter somebody up to see what got Tulsi Gabbard so mad, because I feel like we shouldn't judge until we know what they were talking about. I feel like, yeah. I feel like yeah. Because in my mind, the scenarios that they were pulling, they may or they may. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, but thank y'all for joining me. And as always, each one reach one, each one teach one. Y'all be good. Closing.